How old are you and what is the biggest problem in your life right now? 38, trying to figure out how I'm supposed to keep going after the death of my youngest child. I'm so sorry. I wish you some peace. It's a huge loss to live with. I'm 31. Been dealing with appendix cancer for over a decade. I have an ostomy and just recently my kidneys failed, so now I'm dealing tubes in my kidneys so they can regain their function. The kidneys failed because urine and bacteria was being backed up in the ureter due to the cancer distorting it. All my bodily functions are now done through external means and it's a lot to process. This sounds like a lot. To second question you, what is the best thing going on in your life right now? Ironically, the cancer is the best thing. I'm considered legally disabled and don't have to work. Yeah, I get a limited amount of money each month on disability, but not being tied to a career and having to go to work every day, I have pretty much unlimited time to pursue hobbies or activities I wouldn't be able to do otherwise. There are some days where I'm bored out of my mind and wish I had something to pull me away so I could look forward to things, but the positives outweigh those days. Oh yeah, I'm also not really in much pain, so I'm super lucky there. And since my case is incredibly rare, appendiceal carcinoma, with only a couple specialists in the world, I am indirectly a significant part of multiple cancer research studies, so that's cool. I love your perspective. I hope you have a great November. I'm 51. Broke my back and am slowly losing the ability to walk due to nerve damage. I'm sorry to hear this. I'm 63 and slowly falling the duck apart. I've had so many major surgeries and now it looks like my pancreas is fucked. I hope you can adjust to life in a wheelchair if you have to. My worst fear is going blind or deaf and I already have bad tinnitus. 17. My mom died a few months ago, and ever since, I feel like I can't get the person I once was back. I can hardly deal with school on top of everything else going on in life, but dropping out isn't an option. I feel like I have almost no grip on my life anymore, yet life keeps on going. I feel like I'm gonna drown while fighting to keep getting up in the morning. I'm 28 and I'm still my own biggest problem. Edit, y'all hilarious Tissum. Same age and same problem. How is unnocturnally your biggest problem? Right now you are mine. Are you flirting with me? 56, I was paralyzed 2 years ago. Fully paralyzed? Can I ask to hear your story? I'm a paraplegic. Nothing from mid-chest down. It's a long story, but I'll tell if you want. I'm very interested if you're willing to share. May 10, 2019. I was turning into the end of my street when a dump truck rear-ended me, pushing me head-on into oncoming traffic where I hit another car. The dump driver was texting and never hit his brakes. He was going 60 miles per hour. Technically I was dead. A cop was 2 cars back. He pulled me from the wreckage and performed CPR, reviving me. I was medevaced away. I remained in a coma for 42 days where I expired twice more. I awoke to be a paraplegic. Edit, to all who read this, I'm doing fine. I have a strong support system. Just think of it as I'm on the right side of the grass and got to retire early. Bro, you're a triple zombie. Not many people die 3 times and come back to life. Not even Jesus. I'm 71, and I can jump as high as ever. I just can't stay up there as long. You, sir, are a legend. In my own mind. I'm 53 and am currently locked in my bedroom to keep away from my mom, 79, with Alzheimer's dementia because she's raging at me, hitting me and throwing and breaking things because I told her to not put anything but water in the coffee maker. It's the 3rd machine she's fried in 2 months by pouring in coffee with cream sugar. Edit, wow, I woke up this morning to such an incredible outpouring of support. I'm in tears of the good kind. Thank you all so much for the comments, awards, and specific support suggestions. I don't even know how to express my gratitude. I'm going to try and reply to as many as I can. Hugs to all of you. I'm currently my grandma's caregiver because my aunts, uncle and parents can not longer handle her dementia. It's really difficult to have someone you love deteriorate before your eyes and experience their abuse because they're frustrated and confused. My grandma hit me with her cane because she thought I was a stranger in my apartment. I've had neighbors intervene because they thought I was abusing her when I held her arms back because she was hitting me. We've tried putting her in a home but she ran away twice and the facility kicked her out. Now the family keeps their distance and am the intermediary for them and my grandma. I volunteered and I regret it sometimes. I'm sorry you have to lock yourself in. Big hug to you. If she ran away from the facility twice, then they weren't equipped for her at all. Most places for dementia Alzheimer's patients have lock-coded doors. The best you can do is to walk away if they try to hit you. I had one client chase me around in a circle. She was using her walker, so it was a really slow chase. The client ended up giving up and then we decided to have a snack. It is very, very difficult to deal with though, and I know it must be super hard because you are alone. Finally, you should never, ever have to touch your agitated loved one. You can use these techniques here in this link. U2.benvishkop, and you may think it sounds crazy, but as long as you keep distance between you and your agitated loved one, you can generally take their mind off whatever made them angry, and then change the subject. It isn't easy at first, but with practice, you will never have to touch them. Remember that old people are delicate and bruise easy, so that's why these techniques were developed. 27. Our 2-year-old was diagnosed with cancer last month. Ducking cancer. I'm so sorry. Wishing her a speedy and healthy recovery, and best wishes to both parents. 31. Financial debt, depression. I got into a lot of debt in my 20s, I used my 30s to pay it off. I'm now 43 and debt-free with savings. This is normal behavior. I know it sucks, but it will get better. Thanks, I really hope I can get there someday. Also, congratulations on getting out from under debt. 34 micrometers. I don't really know. Loneliness? Non-existent social skills? The super expensive repair on my car? I'd say everything is going rather good. I think this is the only positive response in this whole thread. And it's not that positive. 25. Money and career issues, mental illness, lack of friends. Dang, this post really blew up. Hey kids, I'm 68. Recently divorced after 40 years and am starting a new life, and it's amazing. You can too. 27. The feeling of not being enough or just not being where I should have been by now. Recently had an epiphany that I thought I'd share. I set very ambitious goals for myself and sometimes I can accomplish them and it brings me enormous pride. But I've had to examine my goals recently and really consider who they are for. Are they for me, or are they to show an ex that he ducked up? Or to look as if I'm at a status that I think other people would be impressed by? Goals are good, but make sure they are really about you, and don't squander your self-image if you don't reach them in record time. I'm 31, alcoholism and the inability to retain memories. Edit remove the period after my age that was causing old versions. Third-party Reddit to remove the 3 and make it appear that I'm a forgetful 12-month-old alcoholic. 46 and I'm 3 days sober. Had a few friends die from it and I really need to quit myself. Reading This Naked Mind by Annie Grace now for help. My father and my sister were both alcoholics. They say there's gene that runs in some families that makes them more susceptible to alcoholism. I also may have that gene, so when I turned 34 I made a conscious effort to quit smoking, and give up the use of alcohol. I'm 75 now, over 40 years sober and able to breathe. I just know, had I not straightened things out, I'd be as dead as my father and sister. One day at a time, my friend. It's not easy, but you have to keep your goal in sight. All the best. 34, I'm about to graduate and start looking for a job that will certainly not pay anywhere near as good, starting out at least, than what I make now. It's a good problem to have, I suppose. Why are you going to stop what you're doing now? I'm burnt out. It's not challenging or stimulating. Looking for new challenges. Looking to be an expert at something I chose instead of merely being good at something I landed into. Lots of reasons. Reading this thread just goes to show everybody is dealing with shit even if we may not know it. Be nice to each other, y'all. Peace and love. 36F. We are now day 55 into the 14-day visit of my SO's sister. Edit, so I took the dive. Nearly sicked my lunch from the anxiety but. Opened with, if we're not sending your sister to Hawaii, I've got gift ideas for Christmas, for all our nieces and nephews, 7 kids between the ages of 8 to 17, between the both of us. So, responded in the affirmative she'd talk with her sister. Sil, will instead travel to their mother's for a visit out of state on the 11th. Stay with her till January, then we'll pay for her Hawaii vacation then. Deep sigh of relief sounds. That's too many days, even for COVID. She was supposed to visit for 2 weeks then head off to Hawaii. Post-divorce. Silver lining is now you can say with proof that you're better than Hawaii. And that's a whole state. There was never a trip to Hawaii. That was the Trojan horse to get her in for the short visit.